Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. WWE recently made an interesting announcement that put them directly against AEW's All Out pay-per-view. According to wrestling veteran Vince Russo, his first reaction to the announcement was simply to think that this was an attempt at riling Tony Khan up. A new premium live event, called WrestlePalooza, has been announced for September. The event is slated to take place the same day as AEW All Out, which is likely to affect the viewership of the latter company. Furthermore, it is rumored to be main evented by a match between Brock Lesnar and John Cena, which might draw eyes away from Tony Khan's show. Speaking about his first reaction to the news on the Wrestling Outlaws, Vince Russo stated, "According to Russo, Tony Khan has a golden opportunity to turn the tables against WWE by simply signing Karrion Kross, who recently parted ways with the Stamford-based promotion." Speaking on an episode of Writing with Russo, he said only time will tell what Tony Khan plans to do under the circumstances. The world of professional wrestling has always thrived on competition and controversy. When two major promotions are at the forefront of the industry, every decision, every move, and every strategic push can carry deeper implications that extend far beyond the squared circle. That reality came into sharp focus once again as Triple H, WWE's chief content officer and creative mastermind, made what many observers are calling a blatant move against All Elite Wrestling, AEW. The action immediately drew reactions from fans, insiders, and even legendary voices of the wrestling industry. Among those voices was a WWE veteran who did not mince words, bluntly claiming that WWE's latest maneuver proved that they are just effing with them. This exclusive insight offers a fascinating look into the ongoing chess match between WWE and AEW, the larger implications of Triple H's booking choices, and how the battle for fan loyalty continues to escalate. Triple H has been heralded as the man who redefined the developmental system with his work in NXT, a period often described as the Black and Gold era. Under his leadership, NXT became a critically acclaimed brand, producing some of the most engaging storylines and athletic matches in recent memory. However, the rise of AEW in 2019, backed by Tony Khan and featuring a roster of indie darlings and household legends, changed the playing field. What followed was a new era of rivalry reminiscent of the Monday Night Wars. While AEW attempted to capitalize on its fresh energy and loyal fanbase, WWE responded with veteran experience and an unmatched production machine. The collision course between the two became inevitable. Now, several years into AEW's existence, the tension remains palpable. Triple H's recent move, whether seen as opportunistic or outright predatory, is another reminder that the WWE versus AEW dynamic is alive and intensifying. So what exactly was the move that sparked so much discussion? According to backstage reports and industry insiders, WWE strategically announced a marquee event that not only directly clashed with an AEW show, but also featured appearances and storylines designed to overshadow AEW's biggest draws. The decision was not subtle. Timing, star power, and promotion all seemed aligned with the goal of cutting into AEW's momentum. Fans immediately speculated about intent, and many pointed directly to Triple H as the mastermind. For critics, this wasn't simply about competition. It was about WWE sending a message that they remain the dominant force in professional wrestling. For longtime observers of the business, the action carried familiar echoes of Vince McMahon's cutthroat approach during the Attitude Era. The difference, however, is that this time, the fingerprints belong to Triple H, a man who has always balanced respect for the industry with an instinct for aggressive strategy. The WWE veteran who weighed in on the situation did not hold back. Speaking exclusively, he described WWE's tactic in blunt terms, saying, "They're just effing with them." The choice of words cuts through the speculation and paints WWE's actions as less about necessity and more about flexing power. To F with a rival implies an element of gamesmanship, a willingness to provoke and disrupt for the sake of psychological advantage. From this perspective, Triple H's move wasn't just about stealing viewers on a particular night. It was about reminding AEW and its leadership who truly runs the wrestling world. For fans, this reaction validated their suspicions that WWE, despite being a global juggernaut, still sees AEW as a competitor worthy of disruption. The veterans' candid reaction adds weight to the narrative, suggesting that behind the curtain, even those who've spent decades in the industry recognize this as a deliberate attempt at intimidation. What makes this development so fascinating is the history between WWE and AEW. From day one, AEW positioned itself as the alternative to WWE. They promised a product built around wrestling, athleticism, and giving fans a voice. With stars like Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, Jon Moxley, and Chris Jericho leading the charge, AEW quickly carved out a loyal base. WWE, under the leadership of Vince McMahon, initially downplayed AEW's existence. Yet, actions often speak louder than words, and WWE's consistent counter-programming, talent retention decisions, and booking strategies suggested they were keeping close tabs. The transition of power to Triple H only intensified this. While Vince was known for his instinct-driven decisions, Triple H operates with a different kind of ruthlessness, a blend of long-term storytelling and an awareness of fan perception. That makes his latest move even more impactful. It wasn't random, it was calculated. Reactions from fans have been split down the middle. Supporters of WWE see the maneuver as proof that Triple H is playing the game at the highest level. To them, competition is the lifeblood of wrestling, and if AEW is going to compete, then they must be ready to endure the heat. For AEW loyalists, however, the move underscores WWE's insecurity. They argue that a company as large and established as WWE shouldn't feel the need to target a younger promotion unless they perceive them as a genuine threat. Social media exploded with debates, memes, and hot takes, proving once again that the audience thrives on the drama both inside and outside the ring. For many, this is exactly why wrestling remains such a unique form of entertainment. It's as much about the stories behind the curtain as it is about the scripted rivalries in front of the cameras. From a business perspective, WWE's decision carries layers of strategy. By placing their show in direct opposition to AEW's, they force fans to make a choice. In today's era of streaming and on-demand access, some argue that head-to-head battles no longer carry the weight they once did during the Monday Night Wars. However, live viewership still matters. Trends on social media, immediate fan reactions, and ratings remain important metrics for both companies. WWE, with its global reach and brand loyalty, knows it can command a larger audience. By competing directly, they not only cut into AEW's momentum, but also test the loyalty of AEW's fanbase. For AEW, the challenge becomes proving that their audience isn't just committed but unshakable. The WWE veterans' blunt commentary resonates because it strips away the corporate language and marketing spin. Wrestling, at its heart, is about rivalry, whether between characters, factions, or companies. When he said, "They are just effing with them," he tapped into the raw essence of what fans have always known. Professional wrestling thrives on the fight for dominance. This isn't simply about two companies coexisting peacefully in the marketplace. This is about pride, ego, and the desire to stand atop the mountain. WWE, under Triple H, isn't satisfied with being the established leader. They want to actively remind AEW of their place in the hierarchy. Another angle worth exploring is the talent perspective. Wrestlers themselves often find themselves caught in the crossfire of company rivalries. Several stars have crossed over between WWE and AEW in recent years, from Cody Rhodes' historic return to WWE to the signings of former WWE stars like Adam Cole and Bryan Danielson by AEW. Every move by either company shifts the landscape and affects how talent perceives their options. WWE's willingness to directly challenge AEW may also be a signal to talent currently sitting on the fence. The message is clear: WWE is here to dominate, and aligning with them offers greater stability and visibility. For AEW, the challenge is retaining credibility and positioning itself as more than just the alternative. They need to be seen as a viable long-term destination for wrestlers seeking creative freedom and fan connection. Triple H's role in this saga cannot be overstated. Known as The Game during his in-ring career, he has carried that moniker into his executive role. Every move feels like part of a larger chess match, carefully calculated and designed to create maximum impact. His understanding of fan psychology, storytelling, and business positioning makes him uniquely suited to this moment. While Vince McMahon's era was defined by spectacle and shock, Triple H's era is increasingly defined by strategy and layered storytelling. By making this move against AEW, he isn't just looking for a short-term victory. He's playing the long game, ensuring WWE's dominance for years to come while keeping AEW on the defensive. The wrestling industry has always been cyclical. Territories once thrived before falling to Vince McMahon's national expansion. WCW rose to dominate WWE before ultimately collapsing under its own weight. TNA once flirted with mainstream competition before settling into a niche role. AEW, for all its success, is still relatively young. Its future remains unwritten. WWE, however, has weathered every storm and emerged stronger. Triple H's latest move is a reminder of that resilience. It's a statement that WWE not only acknowledges AEW, but also refuses to give them space to breathe. For fans, this ensures that the next few years will be filled with intrigue, unpredictability, and the kind of drama that keeps them tuning in week after week. In conclusion, Triple H's blatant move against AEW has reignited conversations about the true nature of competition in professional wrestling. The candid reaction from a WWE veteran, "They are just effing with them," captures the spirit of the moment perfectly. This isn't about cooperation or peaceful coexistence. This is about dominance, ego, and the endless battle for fan loyalty. WWE, under Triple H's leadership, has made it clear that they will not only defend their position at the top, but also actively challenge anyone who dares to climb the ladder. AEW, meanwhile, must rise to the occasion, proving that they can withstand the pressure and continue building their legacy. For the fans, it's a golden era of competition, drama, and unpredictability. The very essence of why wrestling has endured for generations. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our WWE official YouTube channel for more update news.